It started with a quiet evening on the porch. 3 kids, mud on their knees, scraped elbows, laughter spilling into the dusk. Sarah leaned back in the rocking chair, sipping her tea, eyes on the tree line. Not that she expected trouble. But since the incident last summer, when someone had broken into a neighbor's home 3 streets over, she felt a pull in her gut every time the sun went down. Mark, her husband, had said at first, "We should get a dog." She'd blinked. A dog. Real one. Not just any pup, a protector. One that can watch over the kids when we're not looking. So they started researching, late night scrolling, forums, articles, rescue sites, breeder reviews, vet recommendations. What began as a simple idea turned into a journey, a deep dive into the world of guardian breeds. Not attack dogs. Not overly aggressive ones either. What they were looking for was balanced loyalty, strength, intelligence, and above all, heart. They had no idea what was coming. The first stop was a farm 2 hours away. A breeder raised Great Pyrenees, calm as clouds and twice as fluffy. They met a female named Luna. Her eyes were gentle, but when a rooster flew too close to one of the kids, she moved like thunder. Graceful, precise, not a bark, just presence. That kind of silent assurance. Sarah fell in love on the spot, but they weren't ready to decide. They kept looking. In the suburbs, they met a boxer named Tank. Built like a linebacker, goofy like a toddler. He could knock over furniture with one playful swipe. But when a stranger walked up the driveway, Tank's body stiffened, eyes locked, standing between the family and the unknown. Instinct. At a local adoption event, they were introduced to German shepherds. Everyone knows the reputation, military, police, precision. But what they hadn't expected was softness. One, in particular, named Echo, laid her head in Sarah's lap like they'd known each other a lifetime. She didn't flinch when a car backfired nearby. She simply looked, assessed, returned to calm. Intelligence behind those eyes. Measured. A protector that thinks before reacting. Then came the Rottweiler named Boone. Mark was hesitant. The breed had a reputation. But the trainer assured them, temperament is more about training than genetics. Boone was calm, almost stoic, until one of the kids tripped and burst into tears. The giant of a dog rushed over, nuzzled into the little boy's side, stood guard while he cried. That was the moment the breed's label fell away. Boone wasn't a monster. He was a sentinel with a heart the size of the sky. They kept meeting more breeds. The Bullmastiff who didn't bark once during the visit, but put himself between the toddler and the open gate every time she wandered. The Doberman who, despite his sleek and intimidating look, curled like a shadow around the baby's feet, always facing outward. The Belgian Malinois, sharp as lightning. Maybe too sharp for their young family, but awe-inspiring nonetheless. Like watching a living weapon attached to a heart that just wanted to belong. Still, they hadn't chosen. Each breed brought something different. One weekend, they visited a working kennel in the hills where they met the Anatolian shepherd. This dog didn't follow commands as quickly. Instead, he made decisions. When the wind shifted and a rabbit darted from brush, the Anatolian didn't chase. He looked at Sarah, then the kids, then the rabbit, then back. The message was clear: I choose what matters. That kind of discernment doesn't come from obedience. It comes from purpose. By the 3rd month, they knew the truth. This wasn't about finding the best breed. It was about finding their breed. Then came the night, a storm, power out, the wind howling like a ghost choir. Mark was on a work trip. The house creaked like it was alive. The kids were bundled on the couch, trying to pretend they weren't scared. Sarah clutched a flashlight in one hand, her phone in the other. No signal, just blackness and noise. That's when she heard it. Not inside, outside. Crunching gravel. A slow, deliberate rhythm. Too slow for a jogger. Too heavy for an animal. The porch stairs creaked. Sarah froze, then movement in the dark. But she wasn't alone. Boone, yes, they had adopted the Rottweiler 2 weeks prior, was asleep by the fireplace. He lifted his head, growled once low and deep, then rose. That sound? Part warning, part promise. Cut through the storm like a blade. Sarah rose behind him. Moved slowly to the window. She didn't need to see clearly. The silhouette on the porch took one look at the dog's stance and left. No confrontation, no violence, just presence. She sat down on the floor next to Boone. Tears streamed down her face, not from fear but from relief, from certainty. This is what it means to feel protected. Not watched, not controlled. Protected. The next day, she called the trainer, scheduled sessions, made a plan, and as the weeks turned into seasons, Boone became more than just a dog. He became a guardian, a pillow for naps, a shield on walks, a constant, loyal, steady beat in the rhythm of their family. And what about the others? They stayed in touch with the breeders, made a list, dogs that weren't just pets but would thrive in homes like theirs, families with toddlers, teenagers, elderly parents, single moms, veterans with PTSD, farms with livestock, apartments with alarms but no peace of mind, because every family needs something different. For some, it's the Great Pyrenees, gentle giants who watch over children like white-furred angels. For others, the boxer, joyful and strong, teaching kids that protection doesn't have to be serious all the time. Some will need the sharp wit of a German shepherd, ready to solve problems and act before danger is even real. Others will thrive with the silent grace of a Doberman, sleek as shadows and just as loyal. Then there's the cane corso. Yes, they met one too. Italian guardians bred for centuries to protect property and people. He wasn't cuddly, but when he looked at you, you felt it. That gravity, that oath, your mind to guard. By the end of their journey, the truth was crystal clear. There is no single, best guardian breed. There are only the ones who fit your life, your rhythm, your heart. But if you're searching, really searching for that balance of strength and soul, the breeds are out there, waiting, watching, loyal to a fault, brave beyond reason. They won't just guard your home. They'll teach your children about trust. They'll walk with you through storms. They'll stand between you and danger without a word. And when the world feels loud, when the lights go out and fear slips through the cracks, they'll be the steady heartbeat beside you, saying one thing without ever speaking: I've got you, always.